Black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
Now to black fatigue, it has recently been turned into a feeling that some white and black people have who say they are damn tired of foolishness of some black people.
Black fatigue, a term initially coined by author and activist Mary Frances Winters, meant to describe the physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion that black people feel living in an unjust system. However, the English language is ever evolving, and words have a tendency to take on new meanings as cultural shifts happen. The pound sign is now called hashtag, cap is no longer just something you wear on your head, and black fatigue is no longer being used in the way Mary Frances Winter had initially intended. The term black fatigue is currently being used to describe the exhaustion that people feel with behaviors that have been normalized within the black community, such as criminality, violence, disruptive behavior in public spaces, hypersexualization, entitled attitudes, and more. For the last few months, the term black fatigue has been a topic of conversation, not just within the white community, but also the black community. And as a black person myself, not only am I not surprised that this conversation is happening, but I myself can relate to many of the frustrations that people feel when it comes to the black community. For example, I take personal offense to the fact that rappers like Ice Spice,
think you the shit, bitch? You not even the fault.
and Sexy Red,
Pussy like weed, pussy like dope, pussy like cocaine, put it up your nose.
are even allowed to exist in the black culture. There's a lot that I want to discuss in this video. Hello everyone, if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If this is your second, third, or fourth time watching one of my videos and you're not yet subscribed, we already go together. Okay, make it official and hit that subscribe button. The topic of conversation today is black fatigue. The way you view this phrase is likely impacted by what ethnicity you are yourself. For example, if you are a non-black person, such as a white person, and you agree with the sentiment, you would probably describe yourself as having black fatigue. However, if you are a black person and you agree with the sentiment, you would probably describe yourself as having ghetto fatigue, because a lot of the frustrations that we all are feeling stem from exhaustion at ghetto, hood rat, ratchet, just uncouth behavior.
The fatigue is real. I'm just gonna chill right now and enjoy my time away.
Damn,
The fatigue is so real. The fatigue is real.
damn.
Going to enjoy my lunch.
Damn.
Welcome to the motherfucking cruise.
As a black person, I can tell you with 1000% certainty that we are not all ghetto, but we do all often get stereotyped as ghetto, and that in and of itself is exhausting. And often when a black person tries to disavow or distance themselves from ghetto hood rat nonsense, there are some black people in the black community who will cry foul and claim that you're playing respectability politics. It's stupid and it's counterproductive. We are the only community who fights so hard to hold each other to such low expectations. Because for so long, black people have been discouraging other black people from holding our own community to higher standards, we are now at a place where people are getting tired of us, and we are getting tired of each other.
I just came across something called black fatigue. And basically, it's white Americans are sick of our shit.
I got news for you. Black Americans are sick of your shit. That's right. Black people are sick of black people's shit.
As a fellow member and victim of black fatigue, I want to raise my right hand in solidarity to all the other black people who have stood up and said that they too are tired of all the foolishness.
We are in 2025 now, and we are being judged based on the content of our character and not the color of our skin. But the interesting part is the lie that's been sold to the black community in particular is that the color of our skin dictates the content of our character. That's why in the black community, sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, you are acting white, when they're talking to someone like myself who doesn't act the way most people would expect a conventional black person to act. In their minds, there is a correct way to act black. And the people in your ethnic group who fulfill those very negative stereotypes, those are the ones who are going to essentially drag down the collective whole. And that's why there's individuals who are black who do and can have black fatigue, because they see how damaging it is to see the worst of us attract all this negative attention that then unfortunately gets ascribed to the entire race all too often.
I would say that there are a large number of factors that have contributed to the rise in black fatigue, and I think black people and non-black people have arrived to similar conclusions, but for different reasons, and I want to share my thoughts on this. When it comes to white people experiencing black fatigue, one of the themes that I have noticed amongst white people who formerly called themselves allies is that they are tired of being told that they should be ashamed because they're white. They're tired of being ostracized simply because they are white. They're tired of being told that they are racist simply because they're white, or that they aren't welcomed into spaces because they are white. And these are people who oftentimes had black squares in their profile, donated to social justice causes, spread the word about diversity and inclusion, or made efforts to form friendships with people outside of their race. But they're increasingly feeling like their efforts are rejected and it is radicalizing them.
As you get collectivists and you blame all white people for racism and you accuse all white people of being racist, there will eventually be a backlash, because what you're doing is as you're canceling people and you're forcing people into the dark corners of the web, what you're forcing is a conversation between the people who have been castigated, the people who have been cast to the edges. You're creating a conversation between them and the actual extremists that you hate. As we continue to collectivize our blame of the other people on the other side of the aisle, we end up getting rid of all the reasonable voices in the center, all the reasonable voices who just want to talk about how to make their daily lives better.
Now, here's an example of this happening in real life. Do you guys remember that ugly cartoon character Dilbert? We've all been standing at the grocery store checkout and seen this cartoon. The man who created this character is Scott Adams, and Scott Adams has volunteered for BLM in the past. He publicly supported Colin Kaepernick at the time that he was being villainized for taking a knee, and he has worked on homeschooling curriculums to help black students because he believes the way to uplift the black community is through education, and he's not happy with the public school system. So this is a man who in the past has sincerely taken action to be an ally to the black community, but he got to the point where he got black fatigue. In 2023 on Scott Adams' podcast, he had one particular episode go viral, both because what he said was controversial, but also because many white people felt like they could relate to what he said.
Well, Rasmussen poll had a provocative little poll today. They said, do you agree or disagree with the statement, it's okay to be white? 26% of blacks said no. It's not okay to be white. 21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of black respondents were not willing to say it's okay to be white. As you know, I've been identifying as black for a while because I like to be on the winning team. And I like to help. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit. So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white. This is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. As of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome.
Scott Adams' words were used to cancel him. His publishers dropped him. Hit pieces were written about him, but there were some people who did come to his defense, and there were white people in the comments section who said that they could relate to his sentiment, such as this person. I understand what Adams is saying. At Walmart last week, I I was behind a young black mother with her kids. Her card was declined. She didn't have junk on the conveyor belt. No chips, sweets, or soda. Just real food to cook for her family. She told the cashier her student loan money should have been there. Nursing school. This was my sister standing there. I was her 25 years ago, looking at what I could put back. I watched her do the same. I discreetly paid for her stuff, $47. She wasn't on a shopping spree. We exchanged numbers because nurses have a special relationship with one another. After she walked away, I was bombarded with racist comments from the cashier and a black woman behind me. It was horrible. You feel good that she couldn't pay? Makes you feel superior, doesn't it? We don't need your white ass helping us. Neither the cashier nor the black woman behind me offered to help this young mother out though. This type of treatment makes white people hesitate to help and or advocate. I honestly don't understand this type of mentality. Who cares if she's a white woman and the other woman is black? This is a human being helping another human being, something that I thought we all would like to see happen in this world, something that we should want more of. Something else that has repeatedly come up in the conversation regarding black fatigue is disruptive behavior, particularly in public spaces. You see this at fast food restaurants.
My girl fixing her own order. All right.
Wait, bitch, no.
At public schools. And on cruise ships. Carnival Cruise in particular has been a topic of conversation lately because they have managed to attract a specific demographic of vacationers. Carnival Cruise has affordable price points, they sell drink packages, they play hip hop and rap, and so they have essentially become a booze cruise for people who want to have a good old ghetto time. But recently, Carnival Cruise has implemented some policy changes, and people are saying that these policy changes were made specifically because they have black fatigue.
Carnival Cruise Lines has their own ghetto fatigue, and this is hysterical. They came out with a list, and they said, y'all don't know how to act, so we're going to come out with a list and tell you how we need you to act. And they got a list, no drug use, they're going to enforce the drink package and all that. But the best part about this is they cut off the rap music. They say, we do not want the EBT crowd here anymore. We got our own kind of ghetto fatigue, and y'all are going to stop tearing up our ships and our boats and everything else. And you know what? I support Carnival.
Another cause of black fatigue that I have noticed amongst white people and even black people is fatigue with criminality in the black community. It is no secret that violence has been glorified in the black community, especially through rap and hip hop, and the normalization of these types of behavior through rap lyrics has increasingly spilled over into real life, especially among black youth. And a perfect example I can use to demonstrate my point is the death of Austin Metcalf.
17-year-old Austin Metcalf, a junior at Memorial High School in Frisco, Texas, was killed at a track meet. Police said a student from Centennial High School in Frisco, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Anthony was arrested, now charged with first-degree murder.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent. Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move. That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away. When Anthony was taken into custody by a Frisco police officer, Anthony reportedly confessed to the crime, saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to," adding that, "I was protecting myself."
One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, but to take someone's life is just like a different level.
The idea that Carmelo Anthony was defending himself is nonsense. First of all, anyone who brings a weapon to a school event is looking for trouble. Secondly, he inserts himself where he doesn't belong, and when he is asked to leave, rather than just leaving, he threatens Austin, saying, "Touch me and see what happens," while putting his hand inside his backpack where he has a knife. I'm sure everyone who's watching this video knows what someone means when they say, "Touch me and see what happens." What they are saying is, I want to harm you, but I need a reason to claim self-defense, so I want you to touch me first.
So I just watched that entire press conference from Carmelo Anthony's family, you know, the 17-year-old who killed the other 17-year-old at the track meet. Yeah, him. And honestly, I don't think they should have done this press conference at all. I think it did them more harm than good. Here are the 6 major red flags that I heard. Number 1, they started off bad by kicking out Austin Metcalf's dad. Yeah, the dad to the kid who actually died showed up, and they found that to be inappropriate and had police actually escort him off the grounds. Now, I understand that maybe it's a little bit odd or weird that he would just show up and maybe you feel intimidated by that. However, he is the father of the victim who actually passed away. They went as far as to say that him showing up to the press conference was disrespectful to the dignity of Austin Metcalf.
The father being at this press conference is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
What an insane statement to make. You guys are the ones who should be showing him some respect. I get that it's a tough situation for both sides, but at least your son is still alive. 2, the amount of name dropping that the spokesperson did for his company was egregious.
The Next Generation Action Network has been here.
He said Next Generation Action Network like 12 different times. I had to stop counting after a certain point. Are you here to plug your company or here to support the family? Pick one. 3, having the audacity to blame the school for the actual death. Yeah, he said that the school should be held accountable for not actually canceling the meet because of the rain.
I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone with weather in that magnitude? You couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds.
Then they even had the audacity to try to complain about the school wanting to expel Carmelo for, killing someone.
But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame.
Like, what planet are you living on? You can't bring a weapon onto school grounds, pull it out, stab someone, and then just be expected to walk at your graduation next week. No, it doesn't work that way, buddy. Then we gotta talk about the tone of the mom's message.
I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
Now, I get it. She's distraught. Apparently, she's got all these death threats coming at her and her family, which is horrible, and those people are absolutely disgusting. However, Austin Metcalf's family also has death threats being thrown at them because a lot of people in America are garbage. But the fact that she went up to that podium and was pretty much yelling at everyone, was so angry, it just doesn't come across the right way. Austin Metcalf is dead. You don't get to act like you're the bigger victim in the situation. I'm sorry, but most of the public is not going to view it that way. And lastly, they are racializing the hell out of this case. There were so many racial undertones in the commentary that was being made.
Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America.
I get it. Being black in America comes with its own set of challenges. I would never deny that. However, I don't see what race has to do with this situation. Even if Austin Metcalf said racial things towards Carmelo Anthony, it would still not excuse him pulling out a knife and stabbing him in the heart. So bringing up race in these matters and acting like that's why people have an issue with your son doing that is ridiculous, and it actually holds the black community back further because it makes it look like we're always complaining about ridiculous things when we should clearly be able to say that wrong is wrong.
Carmelo Anthony was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He was initially held on $1 million bond. However, the judge lowered his bond to $250,000, and many people believe that the judge showed favoritism to him because he is black and the judge was also black. So with the bond having been lowered, Carmelo was able to make bond, and he is currently on house arrest, and a fundraiser for his legal defense has raised over $500,000.
What?
Thousands of people have given their hard-earned money to support this kid and what he did. I would rather give my last dollar to a crackhead. At least the crackhead would only be hurting themselves. But unlike me, and probably you, there are people who support him and they have shared their support online.
Carmelo Anthony, I support you. Carmelo is a son, a friend, and a human being.
bad, because when has y'all ever had to be afraid and fearful of us? Y'all calling us a thugs. We know y'all's history in this country. We know y'all's history around the globe, okay? It is very unfortunate that a young man lost his life, but at the end of the day, people need to mind their business.
This whole thing is a prime example of why there is black fatigue. Black people unwilling to be objective and say wrong is wrong because the person doing the wrong is also black. And we all know that if Carmelo Anthony had done this to another black boy, it wouldn't have made headlines. No one would be saying he's innocent, no one would be donating to his legal defense, and no one would bat an eye because we've all become desensitized to black people killing other black people. If the races were reversed and Carmelo Anthony was white and Austin Metcalf was black, protests would have erupted. People would be saying it was unjustified, and it would be. It is unjustified no matter who's doing it. And I believe the backlash from the Carmelo Anthony situation is what contributed to people supporting Shiloh Hendris, a white woman who called a black boy the N-word in a playground because she caught him going through her diaper bag.
You call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay. Alright, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a nigger?
Yeah.
The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna...
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, a nigger, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh.
Fuck off.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
I'm not sure if the kid was 5 years old, given his size, but either way, whether he's 5 years old or 10 years old, he's a child. And to go on a rant and call a child the N-word is ridiculous. But similar to the Carmelo Anthony situation, a Give, Send, Go campaign was started to support this woman, and she managed to raise over $790,000. I can't believe this is where we are in 2025. No flying cars, but we have this. For the record, I would also rather give my last dollar to a crackhead than to give it to the Shiloh Hendris Give, Send, Go campaign. There are people who supported Shiloh Hendris as a form of retaliation to the Carmelo Anthony fundraiser, and there are also people who supported her because they're garbage. But also, there are people who say that they supported her because they are tired of cancel culture. And I disagree with Shiloh Hendris being propped up like she's some kind of like messiah for tired white people. If we take her out of it, I understand why the frustration exists. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. I know I'm probably gonna get some hate for it, but I said what I said and I ain't changing it, okay? If you liked this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you are not yet subscribed and you enjoy my content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are currently watching this video on Patreon or the members only tab on YouTube, I'd like to say thank you for supporting my content. If you would also like to support my channel, my link to Patreon will be in the description box down below. If you liked this video and you would like to see more like it, I will have 2 more videos for you in the end cards. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.